Stan Lee was a celebrated comic book creator who co-created iconic superheroes like the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the X-Men for Marvel Comics. One of the most intriguing things about Stan Lee was how he changed the very nature of superhero storytelling by giving his characters deeply relatable flaws and personal struggles. He created Spider-Man as an awkward, cash-strapped teenager who had to juggle saving New York with studying for his exams. With the X-Men, he introduced heroes who were outsiders, facing prejudice and hardship. These characters weren't just powerful, they were human, and that's what made them so beloved. Stan also had a knack for breaking the fourth wall. In the 1960s, he began including witty editor's notes in Marvel Comics, chatting with readers directly, signing off with his famous Excelsior. It was like he was sitting next to you, letting you in on the joke, and building a community that made fans feel like part of the Marvel family. This style connected him to fans in a way that no other comic creator had done before, and it became part of Marvel's identity. Stan Lee was born as Stanley Martin Lieber on December 28, 1922, in New York City to Romanian Jewish immigrants. Growing up during the Great Depression, Stan's family faced financial struggles. He found solace in books, movies, and the stories he'd devour at the library, from adventure tales to mysteries. Little did he know that these early influences would become the foundation of his career. After graduating from high school at 16, Stanley Lieber joined Timely Comics as an editorial assistant. By 1942, he was promoted to editor, and he had already started writing comic scripts under the pseudonym Stan Lee, a name he would later adopt legally. Throughout the 1940s and 50s, during which Timely, later known as Atlas, faced financial challenges, Lee created several comic series including The Witness, The Destroyer, Jack Frost, Whizzer, and Black Marvel. Stan's early comic years were interrupted by World War II, where he served in the Army's Signal Corps, creating training manuals and films. But in the post-war era, superhero comics were starting to lose their popularity, and Timely Comics was facing its own struggles. Stan was about to quit when his wife, Joan, encouraged him to create the kind of stories he wanted to tell before walking away. It was a pivotal moment. In the early 1960s, Lee's boss tasked him with creating a Marvel comic series, formerly Timely, that could rival DC Comics' popular Justice League of America. Drawing inspiration from writers like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Jules Verne, and with encouragement from his wife Joan, Lee broke away from traditional superhero norms. Teaming up with artist and co-creator Jack Kirby, he introduced the Fantastic Four in 1961, marking a bold new direction for Marvel. Lee, Kirby, and Ditko developed a collaborative workflow known as the Marvel Method, which gave artists much more influence over story plotting and enabled Marvel to release new content at a rapid pace. Their titles expanded to include successful series like The Incredible Hulk, and in 1963, Lee and Kirby created The X-Men, another hit. Lee's heroes stood out for blending superhuman powers with relatable human insecurities and emotions. Marvel thrived, and by 1972, Lee had become the group's publisher and editorial director. Lee was celebrated for his dynamic writing style and for giving his characters relatable humanity, addressing real-world issues like bigotry and drug use, which shaped comics for years. Known for his outgoing personality and memorable catchphrases like Excelsior, he helped Marvel Comics become a massive franchise. Promoted to editorial director and publisher in 1972, he later moved to the West Coast to support Marvel's film projects and ultimately became chairman emeritus. Despite his cheerful public image, Stan's journey wasn't free from conflict. While he was the face of Marvel, some of his collaborators, like Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, grew resentful of not receiving equal recognition. Kirby, in particular, felt underappreciated and underpaid despite co-creating some of Marvel's most popular heroes. This strain led Kirby to leave Marvel for a time, and for years, fans debated who truly deserved credit for Marvel's successes. Stan's reputation also suffered due to contractual and financial battles, both with Marvel and with other creators. The debates on creator rights overshadowed some of his later years, and even after his passing, questions about authorship and ownership still circulate. By the 1990s, Stan stepped away from Marvel's day-to-day operations, but his life was far from slowing down. As Marvel's characters began to transition from page to screen, Stan played an instrumental role in promoting and shaping the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, that we know today. Stan's appearances were often brief but memorable, popping up as a bus driver, a mailman, or a man in the crowd. These cameos became a symbol of his eternal connection to the universe he helped build. Fans adored seeing him, and his presence became a seal of approval that linked generations of Marvel fans. In 2001, Lee founded the intellectual property company POW Entertainment and published his autobiography, Excelsior, The Amazing Life of Stan Lee, a year later. By the late 2000s, he had received the National Medal of Arts from President George W. Bush and launched Stan Lee's Superhumans on the History Channel, a show exploring people with extraordinary abilities. In 2012, Lee embarked on new projects, co-writing the graphic novel Romeo and Juliet, The War, which became a New York Times bestseller, and starting his YouTube channel, Stan Lee's World of Heroes, featuring comics, comedy, and sci-fi content. He ended the year by celebrating his 90th birthday, still active and inspiring. Lee faced a significant personal loss with the passing of his wife Joan, after nearly 70 years of marriage in July 2017. In January 2018, he gave fans a scare when he was hospitalized due to an irregular heartbeat and shortness of breath. Fortunately, he was discharged soon after and expressed his eagerness to return to a full schedule, especially with the upcoming release of Marvel's Black Panther. While it appeared that Lee and the Marvel Universe were thriving, an April 2018 article in The Hollywood Reporter revealed a troubling situation. The publication reported that Lee's daughter, JC, along with other insiders, were embroiled in a dispute over the care of the 95-year-old and the management of his estate. This conflict created rifts within the family, leading Lee to sever ties with once trusted associates. The article also highlighted J.C. S turbulent relationship with her father, including an alarming incident in which she physically assaulted both of her elderly parents. Stan Lee passed away on November 12, 2018, at the age of 95. His death occurred at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, where he had been hospitalized for health complications. The news of his passing sent shockwaves through the entertainment and comic book communities, as fans and colleagues alike mourned the loss of a legendary figure who had profoundly shaped the landscape of popular culture. Stan Lee's legacy isn't just in his characters or stories, it's in the joy he brought to millions of fans across the world. Through his groundbreaking storytelling and love for his fans, he didn't just create superheroes, he became one himself. With great power comes great responsibility, a line Stan wrote for Spider-Man, is perhaps the most fitting way to describe his own journey. He inspired us to dream bigger, laugh louder, and believe in the incredible power of storytelling. Stan Lee may have left this world, but his creations will live on, thrilling and inspiring generations to come. Excelsior! Well, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stay updated with more captivating content, hit that red subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from us. Your support means everything.